OnDeck is built to back small businesses like yours. Whether you're buying equipment, expanding your team, or bridging cash flow gaps, OnDeck's loans up to $250,000 help make it happen fast. Rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau and earning thousands of 5-star Trustpilot reviews, OnDeck delivers funding you can count on. Apply in minutes at OnDeck.com. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank. OnDeck does not lend in North Dakota. All loans and amounts subject to lender approval.
Clorox Toilet Wand, it's all in one. Clorox Toilet Wand, it's all in one.
Hey, what does all in one mean?
The caddy, the wand, the preloaded pad. There's a cleaner in there, inside the pad.
So Clorox Toilet Wand is all I need to clean a toilet?
You don't need a bottle of solution to get into this toilet revolution. Clorox, clean feels good.
Use as directed.
Hello and welcome back to Who's the Bitch?
Yes.
It's me, Kara.
And it's me, Jackie, and we're here to tell you who the bitch is in your life, and sometimes that bitch ends up being yourself.
It is.
Oh, baby.
And we ask you to welcome that bitch into your home like a vampire. Invite them in.
Invite them in. Exactly.
Allow
let them
yourself
in.
to embrace your bitch.
They're probably going to do good inside of the home once you let the vampires in. Maybe they're going to fall in love with your mother, and then it's all of a sudden like, oh, I have a vampire stepdaddy, but like you still call him stepdaddy because he's a vampire, and like technically I could ask him to not come in the house anymore, and then he wouldn't be able to. So it's like, I guess the rules would be really different if you had a vampire stepdaddy.
I guess they would. That's really... Vampire stepdaddy sounds like porn.
Yeah, baby. I mean, you're talking to the monster fucker extraordinaire. This is my time to shine here.
This time of year.
Season.
This time of year is when we get down to fucking monsters. I will say, you guys are not monsters. You guys are a wonderful, supportive community of bitches and bitchlings, as we call you. And last week, we had an episode where somebody wrote in about their credit card spending, and they were kind of compulsively spending, and they couldn't figure it out. And obviously, we were like, we're not, we had some thoughts, but we're not experts. So a bunch of you wrote in.
Thank you
which
so,
is so
much.
nice.
Who'sthebitch.com. You can always hit us up in many different avenues.
Yes, many of you wrote in, DM'd, all kinds of ways of contacting us to make suggestions for that caller. So a lot of you suggested debtorsanonymous.org. That's DEBTORS anonymous.org. Like we had a listener named Heather write us, it's not for everyone, but there's a 12-step program for debt/overspenders called Debtors Anonymous, DA, where you can get help with budgeting and the underlying reasons for addictions. You talk with other debtors who have learned to not overspend and stay out of debt and generally get a lot of support. They have many meetings. They meet online at various times daily. Go to the website to get info about attending the meetings.
This is so smart because especially in the world of this, it's so riddled with shame.
Yeah.
And you don't want to talk to anyone about it. But this is talking to people who have actually been through it and are succeeding on the other side. Because especially some people will be like, oh, get a financial advisor. Those are very expensive.
Yeah. Well, she went on to say, go get website also has resources, including questions to determine if you're a debtor / have an addiction to spending, etc. DA is worth trying, she says, even if they don't think 12-step is for them. It's usually very different than people expect in a good way. You can just go online and you can just listen with your camera off to see if it's right for you. So I just wanted to pass that along since you guys don't really have an avenue to speak to one another. This is your avenue.
Yes.
So yeah, if anyone and a lot of people wrote in saying, I've had this issue. I've gone to Debtors Anonymous, or they've had other resources. They've gone to therapy and stuff like that. So you're not alone. And it might seem because you're not doing drugs or wasted in a ditch that you're not hurting yourself. But I think debt and stuff, financial independence is like so key to your freedom.
And there are long-term ramifications. And but there are things that can be done to work on it.
Nothing is, somebody wrote it and was like, this is not hopeless.
No,
and I was like,
it's not.
Great.
It's never. You can always turn to someone and there's always an avenue. So
I wanted to get that.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Kara. And thank you for everybody that wrote in about it.
You guys are all such caring people.
And
because I would just be screaming Debtors Anonymous at my car Like I would just be going, call that, but I don't know if I'd write in, so you guys are conscientious, kind people.
And we appreciate you.
Okay, so I wanted to tell you, so let's get into some real life bitchery in our lives. Last weekend, I went to see Rilo Kiley perform.
Does he love you? Does he love you?
Yes.
That song, have you cried to that song a million times? I don't know if you were a more adventurous Rilo Kiley.
I do love more adventurous. I love a bunch of the songs. I'd say I went with a bunch of women that were like hardcore, like knew all the album names and what was on what album. And
like
I was like
Jenny Lewis fans too.
And I was like, oh, I love Jenny Lewis from her movies. Like I love Jenny Lewis from like Big Girls Don't Cry and like all the movies she used to do.
Also, I love her solo stuff as well.
Yes, and I like her solo stuff, but I also love Rilo Kiley. But I sort of used to discover music, I hate to say, by like stealing it. Like I would go on LimeWire if I liked a song, and I would just put in their name.
There's no guilt. I think we all did that.
And I would just download a bunch of songs. And so when I liked an album or a band, I would like 10 to 15 songs that I just happened to randomly download and they're not
put
in
on a mix
order.
CD.
And So I would have them on my iPod, etc. So I love a bunch of Rilo Kiley songs, but I truly have no idea which album what's on. So we go to this concert and I'm with it's four of us, okay? So two of our friends are deeply emotionally connected to Rilo Kiley and are a little bit buzzed and are having the time of their life. They're standing the whole time. Their arms are in the air. They're screaming the words like they're having a blast.
Also throwing it out there, Jenny Lewis is big fan of the network, which is a lot of fun.
Found that out later. I was like, too bad I couldn't get any kind of hookup at the concert, but I don't think she knows about Who's the Bitch.
Yeah, no, she definitely listening to this, and we love you, Jenny Lewis.
Jenny, thank you for listening. But then, so two of them were, and then the other two of us were like, I was sitting for the concert, but like standing during the songs that I liked. I just like, that kind of music is like.
It's chill vibes.
It's chill. So I'm like, I just want to sit, enjoy it, have my drink. And then when there was a song I loved, I stood up and I went crazy, right? I'm not like being a prude at this concert, but I'm not being as pumped as my friends who are on their feet the entire time wilding out. And our whole section was like having a good time, except, and we love to talk about concert etiquette at this fucking podcast, but in front of us were four people.
Okay.
And I don't even think they were friends with each other, but I think they connected on their Grinch vibe. There was a couple, and then there was two women, I think, next to them. So at one point, the woman in the couple turns around and says something to my friend, but my friend is like wasted and doesn't even notice it, I don't think.
Yeah.
So I just like was laughing with my other friend that was sitting down being like, oh my God, we're going to get in trouble. This is going to be funny. Haha. But I was telling my friend, I go, this happens to be at every concert. People don't get how concerts are.
Right.
If you want to watch a live performance and not have anybody else's behavior affect you, watch it on YouTube.
Yes.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yes.
This is a communal experience.
And unless it's like, you're watching something that's very sad, it's like you're at a ballet and something like that. Yeah, don't be like,
music
concert. I love that point.
Yeah, like a music concert at the Greek, like people stand up, people sing, people, go a little bit. They're having fun. They're enjoying the music. Like this is a band that, by the way, broke up and just got back together for this fucking tour. Like we may never see them again. This was the last stop on their tour. Like people are pumped. So this woman turns around and says to me, and then at one point, like 3/4 of the way through the show, they leave. The couple leaves, and I just said to my friend, kind of quietly, I don't even know how this woman heard me, but I go, oh, did they leave? Because now we've got, honestly, them gone.
More
we've got a perfect view.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a perfect view of the stage. And the woman who stays there, who as far as I know isn't even friends with these people, but I think they connected on hating us, goes, yeah, they left because you guys were being so loud and obnoxious. And I was so calm because I knew it wasn't about me.
Yeah.
If it had been about me and I had been the drunk one dancing, I would have been like, you better shut the I would have gone crazy. But I was very calm and I go, it's a concert.
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, and we paid money to be here and enjoy it too. And I go, yeah, and everybody enjoys concerts a different way and you have to respect that. And she just turned around like she couldn't say anything to me. I was like, you have to respect that people are going to enjoy concerts a different way.
Yes.
And then we were talking about so then the concert is over and it was just so funny because my friend that was dancing and having a good time was wearing kind of a flowy top, and I just kept watching her top almost touch them, but it never touched them. It never touched them. But me and my friend kept going, the top is getting close. But what was so funny, like afterwards, I was talking to my friend who was the one that was drunk, and I go, yeah, she goes, yeah, I noticed them getting mad, and it's like, I'm sorry, like, and then she said, the only thing I was thinking of is, she said, my brother has autism, and I go, yes. I understand that. I almost think they should make sections at concerts for people that want like low impact.
Yes.
Like it's either you have a neurodivergence of some kind that you don't want it to affect you, like that people are screaming or doing whatever, or you're just like, I'm older. I don't want anybody spilling beer on me. Like they should, like a quiet car on a train, they should sell a section for that.
I love this.
But until that happens, everybody just kind of has to
get along.
Unless it's somebody truly like spilling their beer everywhere, but like people just standing and singing and having a good time. Like, come on. Like I've been the butt of that before.
Yes.
Where like someone was like, you don't want me, I'm at Paul Simon and they're playing me and Julio down by the schoolyard. You don't want me to sing and dance? I got to sit down like you're doing and just watch it like I'm listening to my record player. Like I can't.
Also, not to be like this too, you were behind them.
Yeah.
So it would also be one thing if they couldn't see anything because you guys were standing up. And then I feel like there would at least be some kind of conversation of like, okay, then we'll take turns.
And I was next to my friends and didn't feel they were screaming the lyrics. They were just dancing and bopping around and they were excited.
No, and they just had to stick up their ass.
After every song, they were wooing, and I'm sure that just bothered them.
Yes.
But until they have quiet cars at concerts, you gotta shut up.
You gotta just shut up and you just gotta deal with it, or don't go.
Yeah.
It's just, and I think that some people think that's too harsh of an answer.
We're just getting too used to being in our homes, I think, after COVID and with the internet. Everybody's just getting too used to being in their homes. And it's like, it goes both ways. We've got people taking their fucking shoes off at the movie theater and putting them up on people's seats because they think they're at home. And we got people who are like, why can't it be quiet and the exact temperature and volume level that I like? You're in public with the human race.
Yes.
Like it's
not
crazy.
Everything is made for you. And it's so crazy because now we're given this like society where it's telling us everything should be exactly the way you need it to be at all times when we're all different.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you think none of the clothes fit us? It's because they're not made for specific, unique human bodies.
Yes. Like we're always talking about boundaries here. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, you can set a boundary with people in your life. You can't set up boundaries necessarily with strangers unless it comes to them like touching your body or something.
Sure.
But like sharing a space with strangers, like we really can't set these kind of boundaries, I feel.
Exactly. Especially in these like smaller spaces when like in a concert, it's huge, right? I actually over the weekend found myself in a church, which surprisingly I did not just immediately set aflame, which is usually my concern. I will say I was at a funeral, was unaware that the full funeral was going to be in a church. And in it, there were many of the standings and the sittings and the recitings and the, and all of that. And here's the thing. I grew up
the Christianity
Catholic.
Rigmarole.
Yes, the Christianity rigmarole. I am coming at this from someone raised Catholic.
Yeah.
So I know the rigmarole.
You know the stuff.
I know the stuff. And I was sitting,
you memorized the lyrics, you bought the t-shirt.
Yes. And I
read
will
the liner
say
notes.
someone in my family had said, like someone that's not even necessarily related to me, noticed me not, because I had made a joke beforehand that I'm like, I can't even believe I'm allowed in here.
Yeah.
Noticed me not reciting all of the prayers along with everybody and then called me out for it. Like at the end of the funeral, like behind me leaned up and called me out for not saying like the Our Father and for not saying all the Psalms. And he's like, I know you know it. And I was like, I looked behind and was like, okay. And then turned back around, literally middle of a funeral. And so you're going to choose to shame me about that for some reason. And then afterwards, he needed to like re-up on like why I felt the need to spit in his religious face for not because he knew that I knew the words.
Oh my God.
And I said, it wasn't like I was going like, like through
Not
the Our
true.
Father.
Bullshit.
Fucking bullshit. Who gives a fuck? My head was bowed. I'm holding my mother and my sister's hands. I'm being respectful.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off.
And you're
Fuck
gonna
all the
call
way
me
off.
out for not saying the prayer. I was like, I thought genuinely, and I thought that maybe because I haven't been in church in so long, that it's like, but I don't believe it. So I feel like it's actually more offensive
That's
for
what
me
I
to
think.
be standing
I think it's
here and
blasphemous
saying
for you
it.
to sit there and say things you don't believe.
I thought that would be the case, but then he went and like told a bunch of people at the and like I was like being like Karen'd at by older of just like, and then the chaplain of the church, what do you believe in? I was like, this is not about me. Leave me alone.
Everybody at church has a crush on Jackie.
I guess. Get over me. You're so obsessed with me.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
Leave me alone. And it's like, I didn't, you know what I immediately wanted to do was during the entire service, I wanted to be smoking weed out front of the church. And I chose not to do that. And everybody should be thankful that I chose not to do that.
You don't even know how respectful I'm being.
I'm being so respectful, but I know that it, like, I'm not even saying like religion is the bitch. I mean, the person that called me out is the bitch because there was and especially to lean up in the middle of it to whisper something into my ear, sitting right next to my sister.
Yeah.
You
get a life.
The cojones on this one.
Yeah, I just like that's the whole thing. This is why people are leaving your religion all the time. You guys are trying to be church police and all this stuff. Let people grieve and worship how they choose.
I would have loved if he had turned into a church police, but then he stood up and he happened to be also a stripper. Like if it had started with him shaming me.
Hey, saw you weren't saying the words. You're going to get punished.
Oh, okay.
The fiery flames of hell are coming for you.
I'm Dr. Sarah Rahal, the founder and CEO of Armra. I developed Armra Colostrum because I know your body was designed to thrive. It's your natural state, your birthright, and you can reclaim it. Colostrum is the first nutrition we receive in life, with every essential nutrient our bodies need. It's nature's original blueprint for health. After a devastating health crisis almost took my life, I made it my mission to harness this power. Using proprietary technology, Armra captures over 400 bioactive nutrients in every scoop, delivering over 1,000 benefits that transform your health at its foundation. Whether for gut health, metabolism, skin, hair, immunity, mood, energy, fitness, or recovery, I invite you to join this collective revival of health and discover radical transformation for yourself. Visit armra.com, that's ARMRA.com, and enter code HEALTH30 for 30% off your first subscription order. This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Cash flow crunch? OnDeck's small business line of credit gives your business immediate access to funds up to $200,000 right when you need it. Cover seasonal dips, manage payroll, restock inventory, or tackle unexpected expenses without missing a beat. With flexible draws, transparent pricing, and control over repayment, get funded quickly and confidently. Apply today at OnDeck.com. Funds could be available as soon as tomorrow. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank. OnDeck does not lend in North Dakota. All loans and amounts subject to lender approval.
All right. Well, let's get on. We have one piece of unsolicited advice. Well, but I guess it's not unsolicited because it's somebody did ask us. We did have a listener, Crappy Hippie. He knows who he is. He writes to us a bunch, but he wrote to us a little while back asking us what costume, because Halloween's around the corner. What costume is the biggest bitch to get together? What's the bitchiest Halloween costume? But I think he meant it in the sense of like the bitchiest to get together, like take on. Like I would say the bitchiest Halloween costume is one that involves like full makeup and
and the whole thing,
like a prosthetic. And
I was Greta Gremlin last year, and it was wonderful. But it made me think of Arrested Development, where I blew myself because I did get green like throughout my home, and I don't know how I got green throughout my home. I was like, I wasn't even in the kitchen. Why is there a bunch of green in the kitchen? So I feel like anything to do like where you're leaving tracks, I feel like is the bitchiest of any kind of costume. Like, let's say you have a feather boa and it's falling apart all night long and you bring it to a party and then the next day you're like, why are there feathers everywhere?
Yeah, or like a costume where you can't sit down, like you've got to be standing in it the whole day or any of that stuff.
No.
Like, I don't know, the ones that I guess it's kind of how I feel watching drag. I feel so, when I watch drag queens, I'm like, oh my God, the amount of time it's going to take to get that all off and how uncomfortable you must be. And I listen to Trixie and Katya talk about how uncomfortable it is to be in drag all the time. And especially if you're doing like a TV show like Drag Race or something like that, and they're making you just stand around for hours. Like you're tucked and you're glued and you're covered in makeup and it's melting and you're getting 5 o'clock
and you're
shadow.
Uncomfortable.
Like it sounds like fucking those are the bitchiest costumes.
But then I also feel like there's a nugget of truth in, I was looking at, I don't even want to say it because I do want to do it at some point. I just don't have the time to pull it together right now. When you look at a costume and you're like, oh, that's an easy one to pull together. And then if you think about it, you're like, actually, it's kind of very difficult. Specifically, I wanted to be Isabella Rossellini in Death Becomes Her.
Ooh, sexy.
And with the vial, with all of the necklaces, she's got that like sarong wrap on her and she's completely topless and she has all the necklaces. And I was like, oh, that's fucking great. I'm going to do that. But the thing is if you want to be accurate to the costume, which it is a niche costume.
Yeah.
So if you're going to choose a niche costume, you kind of got to get all the parts and make it look as good as you can. So I feel like, weirdly enough, something that's like, it looks like an easy costume, but you realize it will make no sense unless you have the exact necklaces, if you have the exact hair, if you have the exact vial. And of course, you can make all of those things and make all that stuff work for you and make that happen. But I don't have the time to do something like that. And so I actually feel like that costume might be a bitchier costume because it's a little bit more difficult to put together than you would expect.
Oh, yes. So secretly difficult, low key difficult costumes to put together.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say any niche costume like that, it's down to the details.
It's down to the details.
So if you're going to do something really, but then the payoff is like when people realize who you are, they're like so excited.
Oh my God, everybody's gooshing and loosing. And I did already pitch to Kara that I was trying to get Jeff to go as Joe.
As Joe Manganiello from True Blood.
I need my Joe. And he said he's not Joe Manganiello. And that's ridiculous to me.
Let me tell you this. Okay, so my son is being Glinda for Halloween.
Love.
I don't know if I talked about it on this podcast
No, you have
yet,
not.
but he's going to be Glinda.
I love this.
Which is wild because he's being Glinda from For Good, which has not come out yet and will not have come out as of Halloween.
He's perfect.
But
and
Target
I love him.
doesn't care about that. And he saw the dress and was like, absolutely.
So is Rosie going to be Elphaba? Or are there going to be any Elphabas?
In a million years, no. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so Rosie's being Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Love
I'm
this.
talking to these friends of mine, and they go, you should be Elphaba with Oscar. And I go, oh my God, I have a witch hat from the Bitchathon, and I have like a cape, and I'm just going to get a broom, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be Elphaba, but I don't want to do the green makeup. Do you think that's okay? I really don't want to have my face painted green on Halloween. I really don't want to. I think if I'm next to him,
then you're just a witch.
I think if I'm next to him, I'm just going to say I'm Elphaba. I just can't go green. I know,
especially with the kids.
This is like offensive to you.
It's offensive to me. It's difficult. It's difficult.
We're going to be out I'm going to be out all Halloween night with him. Like. It's like a party with adults too, where we're having fun. Jared also Loki hates face paint.
Oh, I know he hates makeup. I guess part of me, but then this is putting money into it, and I think it seems like you're trying to just put together what you have. I feel like in my brain, if I hated the makeup, I'd get a green morph suit to wear underneath the costume.
Oh my God, you're making it worse.
I know I'm making it worse.
There's no way.
All I do is come up with costumes.
There's no way.
But this is also why I feel I'm going as a bitchy thing for Halloween, because I buy so many costumes for work. And Jeff was like, I have nothing to be for Halloween. He's like, you have closets filled with costumes. And I was like, I don't want to be a work costume. I want to be a different costume. And then I sound like a child. But no, you don't have to actually paint yourself, especially because you're going to be dealing with trick or treat and all that
exactly.
shit.
I just can't do it. But speaking of Jared, who hates face paint, he's the vampire game that's coming to LPN.
Vampire the Masquerade.
Mark your calendars. It's coming out October 29th.
Yes.
Which is the same day as Who's the Bitch. So you'll have two things to listen to.
Double it up.
It'll be a Wednesday podcast.
One half, you get Kara Clank.
It's not even going to be a podcast. It's just going to be video.
It's a YouTube.
You got to go catch it on the YouTube.
YouTubes.
So,
and we are out the gate with it. And it really is an interesting experience. And you can watch me live in that first episode play that game for the first time. And Jared knew it was my first go around. And so he encouraged me to go first.
Wow.
And it's because he believed in me.
He does believe in you.
And I appreciate it. But it's not, it will get better over time.
Well, I'm excited to check out the game.
I say that as if it's not, we're working with like insane, Jared is a professional DM.
It's going to be amazing. If you've been waiting for the LPN fam to start playing D&D, this is for you. So
yeah, except we get to be vampires. So if you know nothing about D&D, this is D&D if everybody were vampires.
Yeah, because it's its own game. It's not even like really D&D. It's like D&D.
No, it's like D&D. It's a different TTRPG, but for people that are not aware with what that is.
I think regular people who don't game like this are going to like it. I'm going to watch it, and I don't really get into that stuff. But to wrap up the Halloween costume conversation, so then the friends also said, and then Jared should be Lilo, since Rosie's being stitched.
Oh my God,
And then I pitched it to Jared, but in front of Rosie, and I go, yeah, Daddy will wear just like a hula skirt and like a red t-shirt, and he'll look like Lilo. It'll be cute. And he goes, he was thinking Lilo wears kind of like a shirt that shows her stomach. And she's like, so Daddy's like tummy's going to be out? No, that's embarrassing. And I was like, no, he'll just wear a red t-shirt, but she's kind of nixing it. So he might get away with being nothing. And I'm going to be a very lackadaisical alphaba just to make Oscar know that I'm with him, I guess.
I love this.
But okay, let's get started with today's episode. Jackie, why don't you read our first entry, which is a DM.
Oh, would love
that I found very interesting.
You got
Hi, ladies. I'm a huge fan of the show and always look forward to your episodes. In most situations, I am the mom friend, and I absolutely resent it. I should clarify. I do not have children and, respectfully, do not want them. Yet I often find myself being the only responsible adult in the room in most scenarios, especially in my various friend groups, and being thrust into the caretaker or fun management role against my will. I'd say this is an indictment of a particular friend group, but it's a multiple non-overlapping friend groups, and I'm starting to wonder if in reality, it's me who is the overbearing bitch who is bossing people around when nobody asked for it. I have no idea if this is just how normal people live and not everyone is a planner like I am or what. For example, I'm always the one who coordinates group activities, who plans timelines, who makes reservations, because 9 times out of 10, nobody steps up to do it. And if I don't do it, we always end up sitting around wondering loudly about what we want to do with no solutions, which drives me crazy. And as a 40-year-old woman who never wanted children in a large part because of the responsibility involved, I'm wondering what I can do to avoid this, or if it's just something I'll have to accept with certain friends. You might say, well, what would happen if you just didn't do anything? And I ask myself this all the time. But the reason is because for me, lack of planning and coordination results in a miserable outcome that could have been prevented with a little preparedness. And the mental load of me stepping up is not as bad as wasting my time waiting for someone to make a decision. I'm all about fun maxing, and the less time we spend with the on-the-fly logistics and figuring shit out, the more time that could be spent relaxing and having fun. For example, if someone doesn't make reservations at a sought-after restaurant, we'll be waiting for hours, possibly past our intended time, or worse, be turned away and end up hungry with fewer options as other restaurants close. If only someone were to make those reservations in advance, we could save time and have more fun together. But why does it always fall to me to do it? Earlier this year, I celebrated my birthday with a friend trip, and I asked for my gift to be not to plan or be responsible for anything. I wanted to mentally check out and for once not be in charge. And to their absolute credit, my friends stepped up, and it was an amazing time. So it's proof it can be done. So my question is Am I the bitch for constantly taking the reins? Truly, nobody is asking me to do this. I'm just doing it because I see it as an investment in my future fun to not be stressed. But I did have one friend say to me, you don't have to be my mom, you know, which hurt, but I see it, which is why I'm writing you. And in your opinion, what can I do to free myself from this recurring scenario? I'm tired, boss. Real tired. Sincerely, Nico. You are talking to two of the right people.
Nico's an interesting way to pronounce Kara. I feel like I wrote this message myself. I feel like I wrote this message myself. I feel you so hard. I totally get this. And I do have kids, but I also have been described as the cruise director by some of my groups of friends because I am the one that's like, okay, so what's the plan? What are we doing? Because I do not want to sit around at a restaurant and I do not want to be like all trying to hail cabs with a group of 20 bachelorettes when we haven't, because no one's planned anything out in advance. And so I totally get that. And I love that you got this nice birthday trip where everybody kind of stepped up and planned everything for you. That's really fun. I worry now that your friends see it almost as like, oh, that was like a fun theme. The theme was that Nico doesn't do everything that one time. Phew, thank God we're back to real life where they handle everything for us. I mean, I don't think that you are... Look, you are not the bitch, but you are a bitch that likes to you are a baby in total control of herself. Like you want things to be totally controlled, and so do I. And I think a little bit we have to let go of some of that control. And I have tried to do that a little bit with my friends where I'm like, okay, well, they seem to think that this is going to go this way. Let's just see what happens. And, once in a while. But I don't think you have to totally drop the reins. I don't think you have to totally do that. And I also feel like maybe something happened where you took your planning a little bit too far for somebody to say, you don't have to be my mom,
Right.
like, because that's like... makes it feel maybe like you said something to somebody personally or that made them feel like, whoa, okay, like, but at the same time, people are enjoying who you have set yourself up to be in the group. You've set yourself up with this role, as have I, and people are enjoying that you do that.
Right.
I
do also wonder if changing your perspective of this situation might help. As someone that has general anxiety disorder, and I know that for me, I like to have specific things planned out specifically because it makes my brain work better. And it seems like, Nico, not to put that on you as well, I'm not like diagnosing you or anything like that, but I feel like you do get that idea of like, I like to do this so that everything, because it sounds like it is also maybe your brain does the catastrophizing that my brain does of like, because if I don't do these things, then all of it's going to fall apart. And then it's also that weight that is on you. Now, I do wonder, and this is something that I've been really working on in my life, because we have a friend, like in our like personal smaller friend group, we have our own Kara, and that is Cosmo. But then Cosmo went and had children. And then as a friend group, we're like, well, what do we do? What do we do now? And that we all stepped up. But here's the thing. What Cosmo has taught all of us is the beauty of delegation.
That's what I was just going to say.
And you can still make sure that things are being taken care of. Now, here's the thing. It does add on to your plate the, hey, did you get that done? The circle back of, hey, did you make sure you get those reservations? I don't even know if you need to circle back,
though. I don't even know if you need to circle back. Like, let's say you guys are planning a night out. You can go, I'm going to take the reservation because I've really been wanting to try blah, 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 X place. I'm going to grab the reservation. Let me know who's going, or like
Sally, make sure something's set up for the morning.
You can figure out what we're doing after,
right?
What bar we're going to go to after. That would be great. And then see what happens. At least for you, even if Sally totally drops the fucking ball and you guys end up having to wait out in line somewhere, that sucks. But you've kind of taught people a little bit of a lesson, and you've got the dinner. You had the dinner that you enjoyed.
But but you plan the stuff that's important
that
to
you want to plan.
That you want to make sure I hit that restaurant. I want to make sure that I get that. So it's more changing the perspective of taking care of yourself rather than seeing this all of like, and I've got to take care of all you bitches all the time because I'm hearing the call from inside of your house, Nico, of like, but it's also for us.
Yeah.
I also recently did something that I really didn't want to have to do. And I kept being like, I'm doing it for other people. I'm doing it for other people. And finally, literally, my mom looked at me and was like, but aren't you doing it for you?
Also.
There's also that.
Yeah.
Like, and even if it's a way to make your brain feel better, well, I did do that for me to make my brain feel better.
Yeah.
And you can point the fingers all you want, but I do get how frustrating that can be, Nico, especially when everyone just expects you to do it. But that's why don't drop it all at once.
People will step up, though. People will step up. If you step aside a little bit, they will. Well, like, even aside from like your birthday trip, I feel like in general, like regular hangouts, if you step back a little, people will step in because unless you are literally friends with like 8 people who are baby brained, like someone is gonna step up and be like, oh, have we figured this out yet for so-and-so's birthday or whatever? Like, and you can, I'm a control freak Virgo also. So I'll be like, I might side text someone and just be like, have we figured out a place for this yet? Like just kind of trying to step back a little bit,
tiny,
and let other people make some of the decisions so it doesn't feel like I'm always like in charge and being a boss.
I wouldn't recommend, as someone that in the past would have done something like this, if I didn't want to do this stuff anymore, I would be like, fuck them all. I'm not ever doing it ever again. But who does that hurt? Hurts you. It hurts you because then you're like sitting around stewing of like, and they're not even thinking about all the things that I did. And they're not even, and then who does it all come back on? Yourself. And then you don't get to go to the restaurant that you really want to go to. And then you don't, or if none of this works and you decide, you know what, I'm not going to plan for all of them. I'm just going to plan for me to do all this stuff. And if they can show up, that's awesome.
Yeah, you could try that too. The other thing though is like, be prepared for like when you step back, that you hang out with some of your friends a little bit less. Like, because sometimes if you're not cruise directing, like there's literally been years where it's like, if I'm not organizing us all to go to like this reunion or this big trip that we're going to do, like if I wasn't organizing it, I was like, I don't even know if it would happen. And so whatever you feel is your priority to get it done, you should do. But if it's something like just like regular hangs and you feel like you're constantly the one going, all right, when's the next one? Blah, blah, blah. Take a step back and people will fill in the role for you, I think. And I think you're doing what's good for your skill set, but you're also taking on a lot. It feels like, especially if this is across friend groups, because I'm in some friend groups where I've got there's a couple other me's.
Right.
And I'm like happy to just be like, oh, great, you take this one,
Yes.
Like, so, but I get what you're saying. And sometimes, like we fall into that mom role, that cruise director role. And you basically have to decide, how much time do I want to spend in that role, and start extricating yourself from being that person.
Also,
and I think you can.
I would say prepare yourself for when other people do start taking up the reins, which is going to be good. And remind yourself, they're never going to do it the way you want it to be done.
Oh, yes.
And that's okay.
I had to really, when I would like let other people take the reins, I'd be like, they have a very different style than me.
It's going to be different.
It's going to be different.
And that's okay.
And I have to just go into it and be like, I'm having fun with my friends.
I'm having fun.
Not every time you hang out has to be this perfect hangout where there's no wait times and there's this and that and we get everything we want to do.
And sometimes
I know you want a fun
in that.
but there's fun in the shit show sometimes as well that I think that we control freaks need to try to find.
Yes, which it's scary to let go, Nico, but you can do it.
You can do it. You can do it.
I'm Dr. Sarah Rahal, the founder and CEO of Armra. I developed Armra Colostrum because I know your body was designed to thrive. It's your natural state, your birthright, and you can reclaim it. Colostrum is the first nutrition we receive in life, with every essential nutrient our bodies need. It's nature's original blueprint for health. After a devastating health crisis almost took my life, I made it my mission to harness this power. Using proprietary technology, Armra captures over 400 bioactive nutrients in every scoop, delivering over 1,000 benefits that transform your health at its foundation. Whether for gut health, metabolism, skin, hair, immunity, mood, energy, fitness, or recovery, I invite you to join this collective revival of health and discover radical transformation for yourself. Visit armra.com, that's ARMRA.com, and enter code CULTURE30 for 30% off your first subscription order. This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Cash flow crunch? OnDeck's small business line of credit gives your business immediate access to funds up to $200,000 right when you need it. Cover seasonal dips, manage payroll, restock inventory, or tackle unexpected expenses without missing a beat. With flexible draws, transparent pricing, and control over repayment, get funded quickly and confidently. Apply today at OnDeck.com. Funds could be available as soon as tomorrow. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank. OnDeck does not lend in North Dakota. All loans and amounts subject to lender approval.
All right, let's get into this next submission that is truly wild. We got it a little while back, and I'm glad we're finally getting around to it.
You've got
Hi, ladies. Love the pod and all things LPN. Thank you both for helping me embrace my inner bitch and protect my boundaries. You ladies are a treasure.
Yes.
I'm going to get right into it and say I know my older sister is a bitch.
Ooh, let's dish, baby.
My sister was always in trouble. Before the age of 16, she had intentionally caught a house on fire, got expelled for drinking on the bus, was dating a man in his 20s. This is Kara talking. That might not be her fault. That sounds like a predator. But anyway, we all do stupid shit when we're young, but it was her response to these situations that truly show her character. It was never her fault, or there was always someone doing something worse, to the point that she outed my brother to our very religious mother because she'd been caught with her overage boyfriend. Their relationship never recovered. My brother still hates her to this day. Wow, that's tough. When I was 16, she told my mother that I had had several abortions when I had opened up to her about taking Plan B once. Her new husband had just been arrested on drug charges. So that's obviously she's trying to, scoot the blame over, or the focus over. My parents somehow found out that another sibling had a forbidden pager. Oh my God, I love this.
Whoa,
the
forbidden pager.
The same day that she was caught smoking weed on our front stoop. So she's like throws people under the bus. I could go on with stories like this forever. She has carried this energy into her adult life, but now she has all new adult things to blame her behavior on. It's impossible to be around her. We had a family emergency happen a few years ago that required my sister and I to travel out of state on a road trip together. So I offered to take my car because I just had it serviced and hers wouldn't get us there and back. We took this road trip in my freshly serviced, barely 6 months old, brand new car.
Oh no.
We had been with my family in the thick of an emergency for a week, so we decided to take a trip to the beach for a drink and appetizers on the boardwalk to get some space and clear our heads.
Good for you.
We walk on the beach, eat some chips and dip. I have a beer and a water. She orders a beer and a couple tequila shots, which she finishes before we leave.
Okay.
We pay our tabs. She gets up to use the bathroom, and then we walk back to the car. I'm driving down the highway, and she says that she has to pee. So I get off at the nearest exit, and we're not even a mile from the gas station when we're headed to. I can see it ahead of us when she announces, "I'm doing it," and empties her bladder on my front seat and begins to laugh hysterically. I stop and go inside to the gas station because I'm about to lose my shit and wait in line to ask the attendant for paper towels. She slides over 2 square cocktail napkins under the plastic divider. That's when I start laughing hysterically. So I walk back outside cackling like a maniac. Luckily, I have a spare towel in my back seat, so I give that to my sister, hand over the cocktail squares, and we head to my brother's house. When we arrive, she runs inside to shower and leaves me to clean her piss out of my car. And it wasn't a little piss. There was a standing puddle in the floor mat behind the passenger seat that I had to pour out and spill onto my sandaled feet. I'm livid, but I tamp it down for a couple more days because of the family emergency at hand. On the long drive home, I make a point to tell her that she will buy a new car one day and I'm going to piss all over that bitch. That day is today.
It's Piss Day! This is our Piss Independence Day!
Now, my question is, am I the bitch for wanting to play nice with my sister for a few days just to piss in her new car? I'm still workshopping the details. Do I drink a liter of cold brew and eat a bunch of asparagus beforehand?
Yes.
Do I invite her to lunch, wear a dress, get so drunk that she has to drive me home, and then golden shower her front seat?
Yes.
Should I screenshot her new car social media posts and text it to her saying I'm doing it just to fuck with her?
Yes.
I absolutely know that this is not a great mindset to have, but God damn it would feel so good to get back at her. She never apologized. She never tried to help me clean up or even offer to have my car detailed, and she still thinks it's funny every time it's brought up. I mean, it is a funny story, but it's not funny when it happens to you. Luckily, my car has vinyl mats and seats, and it doesn't smell of pee. Hopefully, hers are cloth. I'd love to hear what you think. Love you, ladies. The pissed sister.
Okay, out the gate, what I immediately would do is not only would I piss in her car, but I would start collecting my piss for days. I would collect it. I eat every get some asparagus, do whatever. I want you to stay hydrated, but maybe, take some extra vitamins vitamins, so everything is like really bright neon and stuff like that. And what I would do is get inside of her, play nice, get inside of her car, make a video of just your face saying, I'm doing it, and then show like as if you're pissing, but it's bottles all over her back seat of all of your piss. That's what I would do.
Whoa. Well, you're saying it's stored up piss?
Yeah, I'm saying you store your piss for days. Like, I'm saying this is not a one piss sit.
You're going full
left
revenge.
A puddle in the back.
Meanwhile, your email said that she had just pissed. I know beer goes right through you, but she had 1 beer and 2 tequila shots.
That's not that
and
much.
And she was so fucked up that she couldn't hold her piss when the gas station's right there.
No, so she did it on purpose, which is why, like, this whole thing would be different if she couldn't make it and she had an accident. Like, of course.
This is somebody that doesn't care.
No. Especially with everything else, with all of the other information that Piss Sister has given us.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. This is the piss revenge of a lifestyle. And maybe I'm being too bitchy here. I love the smile on your face, Kara, because
No, I love that. I like watching Jackie go fucking...
Oh, scorched earth, baby.
She's going full.
I would lose my... Like, I can't believe you didn't even... I feel like I would take in with the piss in the car mat. I feel like I would have followed her in with it. You know, it's like I feel like there's so much, but you're so upset at the time. I would have been so upset
at the time.
So... On top of everything else. Because, like, it's just... I can't imagine... No, it needs to be a big piss revenge. It has to be. It has to be. There's no way to not. I feel like other than that, you're going to think about pissing in that car until the day you die. So you may as well just get it out of your brain space.
Yep.
Right? Or am I being too much of a bitch?
I mean... No.
I wouldn't even send it to her. I'd tag her in it on socials so that everybody could see. And they'd be like, oh, it's coming out of bottles. So then everyone will think it's not real piss.
I'm just like...
But then it's actually real piss.
I'm worried. Do you have any skeletons in your closet that she's going to reveal? Because this, even though this is full tit for tat.
You're right, that is
even
a good
this
question.
is though this is full tit for tat. Your sister
she goes scorched earth.
She goes low.
Especially with the mother and the brother.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like,
so actually, yes, you're right. You're right.
Just be sure. Just be sure she's not
right.
got anything on you that she's going to then go to the fucking internet and tell everybody about something you did or whatever.
You're right.
But otherwise...
Piss. Go piss, girl.
Go piss.
Now is piss back in the vernacular. Henry always says, it's like, I have seasons, unlike LA, and certain words will come back into rotation. And piss is one of the words for me that then I'll start saying the word piss all the time.
Oh, interesting.
So maybe this might in piss state it inside of my vernacular.
Rest in piss, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, or at least sit in it in my back seat.
Oh my gosh. Well, Piss Sis, let us know what you end up doing. I know you wrote us a while ago. Hope maybe it's already happened. Sorry it took us a while to respond, but
I have to know. Please
we
update
gotta
us.
know what
Please,
you
please,
do.
please. Who'sthebitch.com. Please update us. I need to know. Or if you ever ended up confronting her about it, or if you chose a different kind of revenge, I would also love to hear that.
Part of me just wonders, though, if there is any way to change somebody who's like this. It's like been your whole life that if whenever something goes wrong, she'll throw your ass right under the bus. And
I know that I'm talking completely out of my ass because I know that sibling dynamics can change. I would love to read more research into sibling dynamics and what affects them and how, because I feel like for instance, I'm around my brother all the time, so we've really grown together, but it goes to show, if I'm around my sister, who I haven't really lived most of my life with, how different of people we are. And, it's also that, sometimes you fall right back into the old sibling dynamics of, maybe you could at some point be like, could we not treat each other like this?
Yeah.
But I would imagine Piss Sister would have to wait for the pissy to be like, have I been bad all these years? Which you don't hold your breath for that to happen either. I'm just saying sibling dynamics, they go hard.
I would just say, think about as much as this will feel like deserved revenge, will the backlash
be too much? Also, does she do this to other people outside of your family? Like, is she also like a bad friend to other, or at least not bad, just a crazy, like making interesting decisions? Please let us know. Who's the bitch.com?
Yeah. Okay, let's get to our voicemail.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep. Yeah. All right. I know exactly who the bitch is. It's not me. What I do need is advice for cranking up my bitch just right. Not too low, not too high.
Okay.
Here's the situation. My partner, him, it has these two friends who don't know each other, by the way. It's just coincidental. Who basically like are obsessed with being fathers and having children, and I think that's wonderful. Okay, like I'm so glad that they found what brings them joy and that they practice it every day. That's amazing. We are happily non-children having. We don't want to do that. That's fine. That's our lifestyle. That's our life choice. But none of my friends, by the way, and we have plenty of friends with children. No one on my side is like, Chelsea. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's my name. Chelsea, why aren't you having kids? Because that's a very bizarre fucking thing to say. But his two friends are basically saying that. And one of them in particular is like, oh, you don't understand. It's like the greatest gift of life. And then the other one's basically saying, hey, it's science that like you're not going to get a lot out of life, and like you're only going to be happy if you have children. And, I've been in a relationship with my partner for 6 years. So they know me, one a little more than the other, but still marginally because they don't make time to hang out. Anyway, so they know that I am like the primary breadwinner in this unit. And they know that I might suffer from a little bit of the depresso. And one of them had the audacity to say that having a child would cure my depression. Anyway, what I need is zingers. What I need is a comeback because my partner loves him, loves my life. Words are not his strong suit. What he's trying to say lately is, well, that's going to be hard after the vasectomy, but he doesn't have one. And like, frankly, for reasons I won't go into, we don't think he's going to get one. And then it kind of just like goes a little darker from there. Like I said, it's not his forte. And my thing, words can be my forte, except my anger can go 0 to 100 super fucking fast. Like guns akimbo, balls to the walls. Especially if his friends are not my friends, like especially if they're disrespecting him rather than me. If they're disrespecting me, I can handle it. If they're disrespecting my partner, that's when I have flames on the side of my face. So how do I avoid setting the world on fire? I want some zingers. I want some advice so that I don't just go scorched earth and say, fuck you. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. And I would love that advice from two amazing bitches, one of whom is like us and the other of whom is with children. It's like, no, fuck what you heard. I'm doing me. You do you. Because that is so fucking refreshing. Okay. It's not been 5 minutes, but I gotta go. Bye.
Okay. And then Chelsea did send us another voicemail that basically said, I appreciate Kara and her refreshing non-proselytizing position as a parent. So that's why give me some advice so I don't burn my
I really appreciate you, Kara, as someone that not only chooses to be a parent, enjoys being a parent. You never make me feel lesser than. I've never watched you make anyone feel lesser than for not having children.
Because I would never tell people to do it.
And not respect someone for not doing it. And
I wait for people to come to me and say, I want to have kids. Tell me about it. And then I'm like, okay, here's the thing about it. Like, I would never say, I've told you before, I think you would make a great parent. You know that because I think you're a great person. I'm not going to say a word about it, about whether you're going to actually ask you when you're going to fucking do it, if you're going to do it, whatever.
Right.
That's crazy. Like,
and I appreciate
and I'm not saying it to people that I don't think would be good parents.
And no, and I appreciate that. I take that as a compliment that I know that like of which you are giving it.
Because I'm not saying it to people that like, I'm not saying it to everybody. And these are guys, fucking, I don't know these guys, man. I don't know these guys, but sometimes I think that men are just like want to get their buddies into it too so that they can all kind of be in the same
cult.
boat and like,
Yes, I'm sorry, Kara, but I do feel that parenthood is a bit of a cult that I think that once parents are in, then they're like, I mean, you got to do it.
You want to talk about,
you got to get in on this.
Do you want to talk about the science, the one that talks about the science?
Tell me about
the
the science.
Is like single women are like 1,000 times happier than women in relationships. Like, Jackie, you and I are going to die. Like, like I saw this thing the other day on TikTok. I think it was like Elizabeth Gilbert who wrote Eat, Pray, Love or something, and talking about like they're likely to live longer, make more money, be happier, less suicide, less like they die later. Like everything was like, and that like when women are alone, they're happier, and when men are alone, they're miserable. Like they need women in a lot. I'm not talking about gay men, of course, but they need women to like fucking take care of them. And so, and there's plenty of women nowadays that are like, actually, I'm not here to be your mommy wife and I'm not going to do that. So they're happier single. And I think there are 1,000%, a million couples, so many couples that are better off just being together with no kids. And that's counting biological, that's counting adoption, fostering, anyway. Like there's a million different ways you can be a parent. And these people that are just like, join the cult, come with one of us. It's like, I get it in a way if they're nicely trying to say to your partner, hey man, I think you'd love it. And like, wouldn't it be fun to all be dads together?
Sure.
Maybe. Sure. One time, not like every time they fucking hang out. They need to chill. Why not just say he's got a vasectomy? End it. And shut the fucking conversation down. He got a vasectomy. Who cares that he didn't really get one? That's his medical business. It's not theirs.
Not theirs. Also, I do find it interesting not to assume in this situation that it is a male that I'm assuming is not biologically having the child to bring up like the science of all of it. I do feel like wild. I wouldn't want to hear that as a woman hearing that from him. I'd be like, oh yeah, you want to? It's like, oh, did you read a book? 'Cause also, I'm fairly sure biologically both of them probably are not having the child, right? Like they're children, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So it's also, I feel sometimes, and maybe that I just feel too sensitive about it, but like I take it very differently from you, Kara, than I would from someone that
a random person,
a random person that's just telling me of like, well, I did it, and if I can do it, you can do it too. And it's like, yeah, you're right, but literally, can we go back to middle school of you can also jump off of a bridge, but that doesn't mean I'm going to do it. Not that I'm likening parenthood to jumping off of a bridge.
It is.
It is the kind of thing of like, I feel like parents sometimes it is because you have to get it out. You go to your friends, especially your childless friends, and you got to get it out because you don't want to just put it on your partner. You don't want to just, but it is interesting sometimes that it makes me think of like when someone smells something disgusting and they go, oh, smell this. That sometimes it seems like if it's like coming from these kind of men where it's like, I'm miserable.
Come
you
join
should be
me.
miserable too.
Yeah. Or they're just trying to trying to talk themselves out of being a little bit miserable by telling their friends how great it is.
How great it is.
Like, no, it's great. It's great. You definitely should do it. You should do it. I just don't get it. Like, it's 2025. If a couple says they're not doing it, they're not fucking doing it. That's it. Why are you harping on it? But you know who the real bitch is? The real bitch is the guy that thinks that your depression can be cured by having
a
children.
child. Oh my God.
I think your partner needs to seriously reevaluate if that's a person whose beliefs align with them. That to me sounds like almost like a person that's QAnon. What are you, Tom Cruise? Women don't need psychotropic drugs when they're whatever. Like,
right.
The things that, and these guys have no fucking idea, because I don't even know if they probably even checked in with their partners about what their partners went through. But the things that women's bodies and hormones and mental health goes through when they're having kids, it varies across the board. And no doctor in the world would say that it would cure your depression. Not a medical doctor in the world. So why are we listening to some fucking friend of yours who's probably like, an in-house accountant for a fucking plastic firm tell you what's going to cure your depression?
And you also do kind of seem like that. It seems like these are your partner's friends.
Yeah.
Is there not that you need anybody to step up for you, not that you need anybody to speak for you, that if you are at a point, if you have tried this and it hasn't worked, I would probably go to my partner and be like, can you like tell them to just shut the fuck up about all of it and literally never say the word child or child rearing towards me? Because it seems like, I mean, to the point that you're writing in about this, I know that we are like laughing about it. As someone that is childless, it does get to a point that I'm like, okay, I'm done hearing this. It's not funny. Well, it sounds
like her husband's not good with, or sorry, not husband. It sounds like the partner's not good with words. And that's why, which by the way, I have to say, guys, it is a little bitchy when people write us in and go, give me zingers. We are not trained monkeys to just come up with zingers on the fly. But
also they do make parenthood sound like a hostage situation. Yes. And if you would like that as a zinger, you know?
Yeah. I think that it's up to your guy what he's going to say. I think he could easily shut it down by just going, oh, I got snipped, guys. It's not happening. Moving on. And like,
but then are they going to be like, but what about adoption? There's other ways. Other ways.
Yeah.
It's like, is it going to be that? Because also, Nunya, leave me alone.
I think it's actually would be cool if you like just had your partner like go, you know why we're not having kids? Check out this car I'm going to buy. Like just literally show him stuff that you guys are going to spend your money. Check out where we're going on vacation. Like even if it's a lie, go, we're going to Bora Bora next year. we're getting these awesome beachfront condo, like whatever, just fucking
and then just watch as their eyes kind of glisten over, because I will say to a lot of my friends that have children that I'm like, oh, and then I'm doing this, and then I'm doing this, and then they give me the whole Alec Baldwin, I used to go to the opera. Yeah. I used to do those things too. And it's like, yeah, you're right.
I fucking straight up am like, when my friends tell me, my child-free friends tell me something, I'm like, I'm so jealous. That sounds amazing.
Yes.
I just say I'm jealous.
Perfect parent.
I just say I'm jealous. It's perfectly fine to be jealous. And, you know, like, it's fine. Like, yeah, I would just have him, like, I think he needs to, if he really you don't need to do this. These are not your friends. So I think what I'm saying is like, if this is going to make you mad and you're only going to say something rude, you don't even see these guys a lot, then just say nothing. But I think he needs to start saying some shit and either making fun of them, telling them, guys, we're not doing this. Don't ask me again. And if we do change our minds, you'll be the first people I let know.
That or start making jokes too of like, sewed my pussy shut. So yeah, there's no way it's coming out.
But then they're going to go for adoption. Adoption. It's like you literally just have to shut it the fuck down or lie and say he got a vasectomy and be like, oh God, you should just like talk about the vasectomy like it was a religious experience. Like, oh, when he came home snipped, I cried.
Thank God, and it's great.
As I iced his non-working balls or whatever.
Never using a condom again. It's
See,
just
I can't come up with these zingers, and it puts stress on me to come up with zingers. I think you just need to fucking tell your partner, stop this conversation, shut it the fuck down, either through comedy or just straight up or through lies. Those are my three, through comedy, lies, or, a straight up face-to-face. Guys, I don't want to talk about this again. I'm not having kids. I'm so happy for you and your kids. I mean, maybe like...
Also, there's also no need, like if you want to be like, you know what, I'm just choosing not to pass on my trauma.
I also feel that, yes, I feel people do lose themselves in parenthood, and maybe these guys are like, that's kind of why they try to drag you into their cult, because they're like, well, we're not doing any of the same, and maybe they're worried about losing your partner as a friend. So as long as your partner could maybe show a little bit more interest in the family, like, oh, what are your kids into these days? Whatever. Ask a couple questions before you move into like fantasy football or whatever the fuck you want to talk about, so that they feel maybe like they're being seen and heard as a parent, and then they don't feel like they need to drag you into their world with that.
You shouldn't be othering the parents either, because I do also know a lot of my parent friends and the loneliness that comes from it. Like until you find your parent community, like we don't have we have more friends that don't have kids than have kids, which is an anomaly for people our age group, I think. And so it's like, I feel that we watch the parents sometimes get othered in our friend group because we get to go have a fucking blast.
But at the same time, like someone in our friend group has said, I just really don't like kids at parties. And I'm like, great.
I won't bring them.
A lot of times, neither do I.
Yeah.
Like we're not, I don't know. So I hear what you're saying, Chelsea. I would kind of like, let this be your husband's problem. If they say something to you, I think you could like so dead face go, It's so inappropriate for you guys to be weighing into our family planning discussion in any way.
Yeah, do you want to come to my gynecology appointments
that's
too?
Really, that's between us. And I think with him, he needs to fucking figure out whether he wants to just lie and shut it down. Seriously, tell them shut it down, or like lie and start showing them pictures of Lamborghinis and go, "This is what you're paying for private school. I decided to use that on a trip to fucking, the Seychelles."
But I do think you go to your partner. This shit needs to be shut down. You feel this way. You got to a point that you emailed us. I would also be annoyed. Shut that shit down.
Yeah. All right, let's get to one last email and then we're going to go.
Okay.
I think we can squeeze one more in.
Okay.
You've got
Hi, big fan of everything LPN, especially Who's the Bitch and the Crescent City Deep Dive. Thank you so much. I think I might be the bitch about my sister's wedding. Ooh, I love
Another
a wedding
sister
one.
drama.
But in my opinion, she's being a little crazy. Here's the background. My sister met this guy about 10 months ago. She's 23, still in college, and living with my parents while they support her through school. He's 24 and from another country. They started dating a month after meeting. By 4 months in, they had already combined their finances. At 3 months, he moved into my parents' house with her, which my parents weren't thrilled about since he refused to pay rent or help with housework. By 7 months, the two of them got their own place. Fast forward, my sister calls me and says she's marrying him in 4 days because his visa is running out and she wants him to stay in the country. She already booked an officiant and plans to have the wedding in my parents' backyard. My mom and other sister both call me crying about it, but S refuses to change her mind. Then she decides we all need to go wedding dress shopping 3 days before the wedding, and she expects my mom to pay for it. Even though I don't agree with this whole situation, I want to support her. So I make lasagna. Oh, I feel you. So I make a lasagna, a charcuterie board, a wedding cake. I even go thrift shopping for decor. I also hire a photographer since they'll need photo evidence of the wedding. Meanwhile, my sister and her fiance say they're too busy to help with anything, but still want input on decor, food, flowers, etc. On the wedding day, the groom is so nervous he's literally shaking and on the phone with his crying mother the whole time. My sister seems shaken too, but she doesn't say much. I quietly ask her one more time if this is really what she wants, and she gets short with me and doesn't want to talk afterward. The ceremony happens. Everything goes fine, but at dinner, she announces they'll be having a real wedding in his home country in the future. This surprises me, since our family had just poured so much time, effort, and money into putting this one together on short notice. For context, I gave my sister my save the date card with my wedding fully booked and planned literally the day before she first told me about this quick backyard wedding. So she knows my wedding is already set before announcing her bigger second one. Here's where my real issue comes in. I'm currently engaged to my partner of 6 years, and we're planning a very small destination wedding abroad, just family. We've been engaged for over 3 years and saving for a long time, and we also plan to take a month-long honeymoon afterward with our family, doing a bit of traveling with us. Now my sister wants her real wedding about 8 months after mine, also abroad in his country, but flights from here to there are about $3,000 per person, plus all the other costs, hotel, car, rental, wedding expenses. 2 destination weddings in 8 months is a massive financial strain, and I worry it'll force our family to choose between the two or not fully enjoy either one. I'm not upset about her wedding being close to mine or petty about the situation. I'm just worried about the money and the pressure on our family. So, am I being a bitch for thinking she's being crazy or for trying to talk to her about this on her wedding day? I feel guilty since we're each other's maid of honors and have dreamed of our weddings since we were kids. Plus, I hate wedding drama. It's been a whirlwind week and I could use some perspective. Oh, baby.
Man. Listen, she's being a bitch.
She's being a bitch.
She's being a bitch. She's being a 23-year-old. She's being a child. You need to just plan your wedding. And I think that maybe other members of your family need to push back a little bit and be like, we've already gotten the save the date for, your wedding, the writer's wedding. And so
it's like Carla and Stephanie.
Yeah.
Carla and Stephanie.
If little sister Stephanie and big sister's Carla,
Yeah.
I think that other people need to be like, listen, Stephanie, we've already gotten Carla save the date. That's our vacation for the year. Why don't you push to the following year, considering you're already married?
You already did and like, I guess only question is this something to do, and maybe this is just a 90-day fiance question, but is it like, I know that you have to have, like, especially for visa, you have to have all the photographic evidence, you have to have everything, you have to get all of that done. Is there, and I don't know if it applies to I'm sure every country is different, but I'm wondering, is it the kind of thing that, like, they have to be married within a certain amount of time for it to, like, cross over in the other country? Like, is it something to do with the visa? I am pulling that out of my ass. That is my only question
like not
about
if they're
that.
Staying here.
If they're staying in America,
then it feels like the wedding in his country is literally just for his family and his benefit.
Then why can't they do? And I'm sure, because especially he was on the phone with his mother crying all day, so I'm sure that has a lot to do with that.
Student sister and her guy can even afford to throw a wedding over there when it's going to cost everybody $3,000 to get over there.
I'm assuming the family's going to pay for it. I'm assuming his family's probably going to pay for it. And I imagine then they're not going to have any control over the situation. I guess my million questions are like, okay, this 8 months, is that his mother and the family being like, this is when this is going to happen? Or if it is your sister choosing to do this just that close, I would try to go to her and be like, is there any way, just financially, go to her like this?
And your mom should go to her, your parents.
And honestly, maybe you go with them
and just say, like, listen, we can't really afford to do both of these. Can't you just push a little bit?
And we want to celebrate you both properly. And maybe if you go and you do talk to her, that maybe there is more reasoning of why it's in 8 months. I'm probably giving her way too much of the benefit of the doubt here.
I just think this little sister, it's like, this feels like a full first wedding. Sorry to say, I'm being a bitch. Like, this does not sound like this wedding's going to last. They sound like they're both about to throw up on their wedding day because they don't know that this is the right thing. They've only been together for
not enough
time. Like, they're in their early 20s. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, at 3 months they moved in with the parents, and then at 7 months they got their own place, and now I don't know how much time elapsed before she said that she's marrying him, but it seems like they got married within a year of being together.
She met this guy 10 months ago.
Oh, wait, is that what it says?
At the top, yeah, here's the background.
Yeah.
My sister met this guy about 10 months ago.
Okay. So it's like, I'm sorry, this is such little sister immature behavior. You've been with somebody for 6 years. You've been planning and scrimping and saving for a wedding, and now she's going to make people choose between the two weddings, which, by the way, like, no one's going to choose her wedding.
Because no
one's going to choose a wedding planned by a 23-year-old versus a wedding planned by someone who's been working towards and figuring out, and you guys, they're included in the following travel plans and all this stuff.
And maybe that needs to be told to your sister of, like, the family's not going to show up if you do it this close.
Yeah.
We can't do it. We don't have the money.
And if she throws a little baby temper tantrum, then that's just the way. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, if you guys are close and she shut down, like, to me, she was nervous about even the first wedding happening. And because she shut down, even though you guys are close and you were each other's maid of honor, she shut you down when you just said, hey, I'm just making sure that this is, like, all what you want because you seem really nervous. She, like, shut it down because obviously there's some truth to what you were asking.
Also, don't feel guilty about doing that on her wedding day. Sometimes,
when are you going to ask?
I mean, sometimes it gets to that point when someone's looking that terrified, and maybe they did just need somebody to be like, do you really want to do this? Do not feel guilty for that. You gave her an out.
Yeah, I would just go to her, like, but maybe go to her with the parents and maybe some other family members, like your other sister, so that it doesn't feel like this is becoming war of the weddings, like bride wars,
right? Where
you want more attention or you don't want the focus pulled from you, and it literally just becomes about logistics and finances.
And like,
because that is crazy.
And maybe even if your sister is acting crazy, that, like, if that kind of rational thought of, like, it has nothing to do with emotions, it's literally like, I can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
And the family can't afford to do that.
And as
so
somebody,
please don't do that to us.
As somebody who was a bridesmaid in a wedding that I had to fly to a destination and it did not last more than 4 months, it's hard for people to
spend money
when something looks as though it may not last.
Maybe in a dream world, maybe his family has so much money that they are planning the whole thing. They're going to fly your whole family out, right? Maybe that's it.
If that was the case, I don't think she would. I don't think she'd be writing the old "Who's the Bitch" podcast.
I'm trying to see, maybe.
No, she's a baby. She's 23 years old. She's acting like a baby. She's not seeing the forest for the trees. She's not figuring out the whole implication. She's just going, when do I get my big day? Like it's selfish. She's being selfish. I don't think you're being the bitch. I think she's being the bitch. You asked, I'm answering. That's that.
Done.
Yeah.
Done.
Thank you guys so much. Everybody who submits, we love each and every one of you like a child. And some of us don't want to have you, but some of
like
us
a child.
do.
Yeah.
I don't want any more kids. So you are my kids, but I don't want you. No, I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, but we appreciate the bitchlings, and we appreciate, honestly, I appreciate you as someone that, home is filled with nothing to love and no smiling and no family. So I need you bitchlings, and thank you for coming every week.
I'm so sorry you're so miserable without children.
So miserable.
The idea that children solve it.
Cure your depression?
They don't solve anything.
No.
My kids are wonderful. I love them more than anything. They don't solve anything. Not one single problem in my life has been solved by having kids.
I think they make a lot more problems.
Crazy.
But, thank you guys so much for tuning in every week and for hitting us up. who'sthebitch.com. You can get all your information there. You can email us. You can leave us a voicemail. You can DM us. Follow us on Instagram. Leave us reviews.
Who's the bitch LPN on Instagram. Follow us over there. That's where we put up our little bitchlings. That's where we put up some cute little memes and stuff like that. So follow us over there, and we'll see you next week. Ooh, Halloween is approaching.
Oh, who's the bitch of Halloween? Guess we'll find out soon.
Bye.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.